To Capstone project trip 2. Okay, you have successfully completed the Capstone project part, like Capstone project 1, like all three parts. Okay, like first Capstone project you have worked on the waterfall model, and in this Capstone project 2. Okay, project 2, you will be working upon the agile methodology. Okay, in this session we are going to discuss about how we need to write the answers to the questions. Okay, okay, and what are the questions we have in agile. Okay, okay, before going to starting about the prep 2. Okay, so yeah guys, before going to start this session, so if you have any doubts, okay, so you need to ask at the end of the session. Okay, please note down your doubts and ask at the end of the session. Okay guys. Okay, so here are the instructions, just once go through it. Okay, so before going getting to the question, okay, what is Agile Manifesto? Before knowing about the question, so for the Capstone project prep, Capstone project 2. So here the case study is about the Scrum Food. Okay, Scrum Food provides fast, reliable online food delivery application targeting customers of all age groups, offering 24/7 service along with the tracking of the delivery real time. Okay, so this is about the case study. So we have food delivery applications, for example, Swiggy and Zomato, same as like it is. Okay, so uh, now we're looking to the questions. Okay, so here they have given a diagram here. So whenever the client approaches the company, whenever the client himself approaches the company, he will meet the product owner. Okay, and they will discuss upon the requirements. Okay, after that product owner will prepare product vision document. Okay, so and after that he will write, product owner will write the stories. Okay, and to acceptance criteria to it, BV and CP values. Okay, and after that product grooming session will be done. After that the sprint planning, sprint review, daily stand-up, sprint retrospectives, all those things will be discussed while going forward. Okay, so let us know first what do you mean by agile before getting to the what is agile manifesto. Okay, we need to know about what is an agile. Okay, so it is one of the software development lifecycle methodology. Okay, agile methodology is an incremental and iterative approach to the software development. Okay, that emphasize collaboration, customer feedback, and delivering small working part of the product regularly. Okay, it encourages team to adopt changes, work in a a short cycle. We can call it as a sprints. Okay, and it mainly focuses on continuous improvements to meet customer needs and deliver value to the deliver quickly. Okay, so so let us look into the agile manifesto. Okay, so what is agile manifesto? So agile manifesto is a set of guiding value or principle for the software development. Okay, so we have a four main values and 12 principles. In agile manifesto you need to write here four main values and 12 principles. Okay, so what are the four main values means: individual and interaction over process and tools, working software over comprehensive document, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to changes over following to a plan. Okay, these are the four main values, and we have a 12 principles in agile manifesto. Okay, so you need to write these four main values and 12 principles in it. Okay, okay, so what are the 12 principles we have in agile manifesto? Okay, customer satisfaction through early and continuous delivery. Okay, welcome changing requirements even late in the development. Okay, deliver working software frequently. Business and developers works together daily. Build project around motivated individuals and support them. Okay, face to face conversation is best communication, and working software is the primary measure of the progress. Okay, agile process promote sustainability development phase. Okay, continuous attention to technical excellence and good design. Okay, like this you need to give 12 principles in your document you need to answer. Okay, and okay, you need to include like four main values, and you need to explain while giving the viva what are the four main values. Okay, suppose like individual sign interaction over process and tools. This is the one of the four main values. Okay, one of the value in the four main values. What do you mean by that? Okay, people and teamwork are more important than justifying blindly, by following rules or depending upon tools. Okay, instead of depending upon tools and following rules. Okay, people and teamwork are more important. Okay, like okay, like this you need to explain these four main values. Okay, so next question, we'll move into the next question. Okay, so this is about the product vision document, you can ignore here. Okay, on the product vision document you will be working upon the live projects. Okay, so I will give overview about the product vision document, like what is a product vision document. Okay, product vision is a high level, we can call it as it is a guiding document for the development team and stakeholders to understand the direction of the product. Okay, it describes the purpose of the product, its goals and its target audience. Okay, so let us know. Okay, so now let us moving to the next question. So So here next question is, write minimum of 40 user stories and their acceptance criteria along with their BV and CP. Okay, so you need to write 40 user stories based on the case study. We have a case study called Scrum Food, right? Scrum Food delivery application. Okay, you need to write case study for that. Okay, so how you need to write? How sorry, you need to write 40 user stories for that case study. Okay, okay. So we have in the question paper itself we have given an example. Okay, so based on this you need to write question paper. First you need to give like a uh, user story number, task and priority, and this is the user story format. Okay, and you need to give BV value and CP value and acceptance criteria. Okay, so let us know first what is the user story. Okay, a user story is a short or simple description of a feature from the end user's point of view. Okay, it is a short and simple description of a feature or functionality from the end user's perspective. We have a format for this user story as a I want to show that. So here you can see as a I want to, okay, so that. Okay, as a delivery boy I want to register in Scrum Food so that I can deliver orders. Okay, this is the format for the user stories. In this format only you need to write all 40 user stories. Okay, okay, you need to mention, you need to follow as a I want to show that. Okay, so next, what is an acceptance criteria? So acceptance criteria are the condition that must be true for the user story to be considered complete. Okay. Acceptance criteria are the conditions that must be true for the user story to be considered as complete. Okay, that is known as a acceptance criteria. Okay, so okay, so like they act like a checklist for testers and developers. Okay, we can call it as. Okay, so let us know, we have done acceptance criteria and user story. So let us know what is a task then. Okay, a task is a small piece of work required to complete a user story. Okay, task is a small piece of work, okay, required to complete a user story. Okay, so let us know what is a priority. Okay, like a priority means how important or urgent a user story or task is completed. Okay, priority means how important or urgent a user story or task is compared to others. Okay, like we can call it as which user story we need to work first. Okay, so it will be given as a highest priority. Okay, so here we have given highest priority, so we have a highest priority, high priority, medium, low and lowest priority. So in these five categories we will give priority here. Okay, for the user story which you have given. Okay, so while going forward we will discuss what is a BV and what is a CP. Okay, so this is the tabular format you need to follow, and you need to write all 40 user stories based on the Scrum Food. Okay, Scrum Food case study. Okay, so now we will look into the next question. Okay, that is what is epic. Okay, an epic is a big feature or large requirement, okay, that is too big to complete in a single sprint. Okay, epic is a big feature or large requirement that is too big to complete in a single sprint, so that we will it is broken down into multiple user stories. Okay, so for example, so we have a user story for the we have a user story for the sprint. Okay, so it is not completing in the single sprint. Also, it's taking 3 to 4 sprints to complete the user story. So in that scenario, we'll consider it as an epic. Okay, and we will broke down the epic into multiple manageable user stories. Okay, all those related user stories, we'll call it as an epic. Okay, so now we will look into the what is the difference between BV and CP. So before, just now I have shown you in the tabular format, we will give BV and CP for the user story, right? So what is a BV? Okay, BV means business value and CP means complexity point. So we can call it as a story point also. Okay, complexity points we can call it as a story points. Okay, so what is a BV? Business value. Like it is importance or benefit to the future brings to the business or customer. Okay, how much important the future brings to the business or customer. Okay, so when it comes to complexity point or story point. Okay, so efforts efforts or complexity for the team to implement the future. Okay, how much, like we can call it as how much effort required to complete a user story. Okay, and it is given by the development team. Okay, when it comes to business value, it is decided by the product owner or business stakeholder. Okay, so how you will measure BV and how you will measure CP. Okay, yeah, so BV value measured in the form of currency note. So we have a currency note for 10, 20, 50, 100, 200 and 500, up to 500 we can give. Okay, when it comes to complexity point, okay, it is estimated in the form of Fibonacci series. We will give in the form of Fibonacci series. So what is a Fibonacci series? So there will be two numbers, default two numbers, 0 and 1. Okay, we will add before two numbers, like we have already default 0 and 1. 0 plus 1, it will become 1. So now it will become 3. Okay, three numbers, right? 0, 1 and 1. Okay, so we will now we need to add before two numbers, so we need to avoid this 0 and we need to add latest numbers, two numbers called 1 plus 1, it's became 2, and we need to add what is the latest number 2 and it's before 1, 2 plus 1 3. Now it will become 3, like 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 5, like that. Okay, like that it goes on. Okay, so we will give in the form of Fibonacci series only. Okay, so next question, the fifth question. So here what you need to give. Okay, so let us know what is a sprint means. Okay, sprint means we can call it as a time box, duration of time to complete a particular sprint. Okay, what is the duration of the sprint? It will be 1 to 4 weeks of time. Okay, okay, that is known as a sprint. Okay, duration of time to complete a particular sprint, it is known as, we will call it as a sprint. It will be 1 to 4 weeks of time. Okay, okay, next we'll look into the next question, that is, okay, explain the product backlog and the sprint backlog. So let us know what is a product backlog. A complete list of all features, enhancement, fixes, and requirements for the product. Okay, so for the Scrum food, we suppose we have for the Scrum food application, we will consider for 40 user stories in a project. So we have all 40 user stories in a in an application. So all those 40 user stories, okay, all those 40 prioritized user stories will comes under the product backlog. Okay, when it comes to sprint backlog, okay, so we need to start a sprint one. Suppose we want to start a sprint one. Okay, so for the sprint one, whatever the features we want to deliver, okay, so from the 40 those stories for the sprint one, so we team have decided to deliver 10 features for the sprint one. Okay, all those 10 features, whatever the 10 features we have taken for the sprint one, those 10 features will comes under the sprint backlog. Okay, a list of selected items from the product backlog that the team commit to deliver in a specific sprint. Okay, okay, that is known as a sprint backlog. So we can call it as a sprint backlog is a subset of the product backlog also. Okay, and it product backlog is managed by the product owner. Okay, and when it comes to sprint backlog, okay, it is managed by the development team. Okay, so what is the scope of the product backlog means? Okay, it covers the entire product, like covers the entire product. Just now I have told you, right, whatever the user stories included for the application. Okay, all the user stories will comes under the product backlog. Okay, a complete list of features, we will call it as user stories, and enhancements and fixes and requirements for the product. Okay, so now we're looking to the what is an impediment log. Okay, so an impediment log is a list, okay, where the Scrum Master records all the issues, blockers, or obstacles that stop the team from the making progress. Okay, so an impediment log is a list where the Scrum Master record all the issues, blockers, or obstacles that are stopping the team from making the progress. Okay, so that is known as an impediment log. Okay, so we need to give two examples for the impediment log. You need to write what is an impediment log, and you need to give two examples for the impediment log. Okay, and who is responsible for this impediment log means Scrum Master is responsible. He is responsible to identify the impediment log, and he need to resolve the impediment log. Okay, so we will move to the next question. So here is the next question, question number 8. Okay, explain velocity of team. Okay, explain velocity of team. So let us know what is the velocity of team. Okay, the amount of work a team can complete in a one sprint. Okay, amount of work a team can complete in a one sprint. Like it is usually measured in story points. So we can call it as complexity points also. Usually measured in a story points. Okay, like by using velocity of team, like it helps in predicting how much work the team can do in a further sprint. Okay, by calculating the present also, it will be calculated. So after completion of the sprint only, velocity of the team chart will be visible. Okay, so we can calculate after completion of the sprint only by by calculating this work. Okay, whatever the story points it has taken. Okay, so by it helps in predicting how much work the team can do in a further sprint, like in next sprint. Okay, that is known as velocity of team. So next question, it will be ninth one. Let us know. You need to draw sprint burn down chart and product burn down chart. Okay. So you need to use Jira tool here. Okay. So if you don't know about the Jira, how to draw the sprint burn down and burn up chart by using Jira means. So we have already recording sessions over there, like Jira awareness session in our YouTube channel. Okay, there is a YouTube channel for us, right? So just go through it and watch the Jira awareness session, so you can come to know how to draw the sprint burn down and burn up chart. Okay, so product burn down chart is not available in the free version. Okay, free version of Jira, so you can draw the sprint burn down chart and sprint burn up chart. Okay, so there you can find velocity also. Okay, when you draw the sprint burn on and burn up chart, there will be velocity also, so you can come to know how to draw the velocity chart also. Okay, so let us know what is the sprint burn down chart and burn up chart and product burn down chart. Okay, like what do you mean by sprint burn down chart? Sprint burn down chart shows how much work is remaining in the sprint, or like day by day. Okay, it is known as a sprint burn down chart. Okay, it is maintained by the scrum master. Okay, it is a daily graph maintained by the scrum master. It shows how much work is remaining in the sprint. Okay, and when it comes to sprint burn down chart, so what is the sprint burn down chart? It shows how much work has been completed in a sprint. Okay, instead of remaining. Okay, it shows the completed work in a sprint. Okay, so next, what is the product burn down chart? Okay, product burn down chart shows the overall progress of the entire product backlog across multiple sprints. Okay, that is known as a product burn down chart. Okay, I'm repeating again. Product burn down, sorry, burn down chart shows the overall progress of the entire product backlog. Okay, across multiple sprints. It is known as a product burn down chart. Okay, so you need to draw the sprint burn down and burn up chart report by using Jira tool only. Okay, so let us know. Next question, it will be explain about product grooming. So let us know what is the product grooming. So product grooming also we can call it also backlog refinement. Okay, so product grooming is a regular meeting where the product owner and development team reviews and update the product backlog. Okay, here what is the main goal of the product grooming means to make sure backlog items are clear, prioritized, and ready for the upcoming sprint. Okay, so here we will review and refine the product backlog to ensure the items which are included in the product backlog are clear, prioritized, and ready for the upcoming sprint. Okay, that is known as a product grooming. Okay, and next question, it will be explain the role of the scrum master and the product owner. Okay, let us know who is scrum master and product owner. Okay, So what is the role of the scrum master? Ensures the scrum process, like it is followed and removed obstacles from the team. So just now I have told you, right? So scrum master is responsible for to identifying the impediments, and he is responsible to remove the impediments, resolve the impediments, okay. Obstacles, we can call it as impediments, okay. Okay, and he facilitate the scrum events like daily stand-up, sprint planning, sprint review, and retrospective. And he will coach the team on agile principles. Okay, and remove the blockers or impediments, and he will protect team from the distractions. Okay, and he will work closely with the development team. Okay, okay, this is known as a scrum master. When it comes to product owner, okay, product owner defines the product vision, okay, manages the product backlog, and prioritize work for uh, maximize BV, like business value, okay. And when it comes to product owner, he will focuses on product futures, customer value, and priorities, okay. And he will create and maintain the product backlog. He will create and he will maintain the product backlog, and he will write user stories and define acceptance criteria, okay. And he will prioritize backlog items based on the BV value, business value, okay. Okay, and also he will clarify requirements to the development team, okay. And he will decide what to build, uh, and in what order, like we can call it as a priority, in what order means, okay. Okay, like he will work with both development team and stakeholders, or we can call it as customers, okay. Okay, so this is known as a role of a scrum master and a product owner. So let us know, explain all meetings conducted in a scrum project. Okay, so what are the meetings conducted in a scrum project? Okay, so firstly it will be sprint planning and daily stand-ups, or we can call it as daily scrum. Okay, sprint review, sprint retrospective, and backlog refinement, or uh, backlog grooming, we can call it as. Just now we have discussed about this grooming, okay. Okay, so now we have to know what is a sprint planning. Okay, for the sprint planning, it is a meeting conducted by the scrum master, okay. So here team will discuss like what should be delivered in the particular sprint. Okay, so we want to start a sprint one, okay. So for that sprint one, so we team, like a team, our team going to decide what should be delivered for the sprint one. In the sprint one, what we need to deliver, like what kind of features we need to deliver, okay. So for this scrum food we have a 40 user stories. So from the 40 user stories, what are the which are the most important to deliver first, okay. So we team will decide and discuss and decide to deliver those user stories in the sprint one, okay. So let us consider we have decided 5 user stories in the sprint one, okay. That that is known as a sprint one, okay. That is known as a sprint planning, okay. What should be delivered in the particular sprint, okay. So let us know what is next. It will be the daily stand-ups, okay. And this is a meeting conducted by the scrum master, and it duration will be a fixed. It will be 15 minutes of time, 15 minutes of time, okay. So here team will discuss like what they have done yesterday, what they are going to do today, okay. Is there any impediments on their way, okay. Okay, these things will be discussed in the daily stand-ups, okay. It is a daily meeting, okay. And when it comes to sprint review, okay, it shows completed work to the stakeholders and get feedback. So whenever the developer completed the task or user story, right, he will give demo to the stakeholder and he will gather the feedback from the stakeholder, okay. And next let us know about the sprint retrospective. So we have after this will be conducted at the end of the sprint. Okay, this meeting will be conducted at the end of the sprint. Okay, so so here the in sprint retrospective meeting. So after completion of the sprint one, okay, like what we will team like we team going to discuss like what went well, what didn't went well, and how we need to improve for the next sprint, like upcoming sprint, what we need to improve for the upcoming sprint. Okay, so this is known as the sprint meetings conducted in the Scrum project. These are the sprint meetings conducted in the Scrum project. So one more, it will be the backlog grooming. We have already discussed. Okay. So that is the 10th question. Yes. So next it will be the explain sprint size and the Scrum size. Okay. So let us know what is a sprint size. Sprint size means duration of a sprint, like how long a team work to complete a set of uh, blocked items, sorry, backlog items. Okay, so usually it will be the 1 to 4 weeks of time. Okay, so when it comes to Scrum team, sprint size, yeah, sprint size we can call it as time box. Okay, 1 to 4 weeks of time, like period of time to complete a particular sprint. Okay, yeah, like yeah, if sprint size is 2, okay, if sprint size is 2 weeks, the team plans and completes work within those 2 weeks only. Okay, from the 1 to 4 weeks of time, like team decided to it will be 2 weeks, 2 weeks of time. Okay, the team whatever the planet, okay, they need to complete work within those 2 weeks only. Okay, so next it will be the Scrum team. Okay, some Scrum size means we can call it as who are the team, the number of people in a Scrum team, we can call it as a Scrum size. Okay, so usually it will be 4 to 9 members. Okay, not including the product owner or Scrum master in some okay, okay, yeah, number of people in a Scrum team. Okay, it will be a product owner, Scrum master. Okay, some like one product owner, one Scrum master, 4 to 5 developer or and tester. Testing team will be involved based on the project only. Okay, so next question it will be the explain prioritization. Yeah, explain prioritization technique and MVP. Okay, so let us know what is priority. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Drink some water. Yeah. Let us know what is prioritization technique and MVP. Okay. Prioritization technique in Agile, like prioritization technique helps decide what features or stories to do first. Okay. Just initially we have discussed what is priority, right? Same like that. Okay. So what like like it decides what features or stories to do first. Okay, based on a values or efforts or risks. Okay, here like we have some kind of technique Masco. Okay, and we mostly will use Masco technique. Okay, Okay, so we will use a Masco technique. Okay, so okay, we use Masco technique. So let us know what is MVP. So MVP means minimum viable product. Okay, like the simplest version of the product that can be released to user to get feedback. Okay, so for example, we are delivering a piece of version, like piece of software means version 1 to the market earlier. Okay, to gather the feedback from the real customers. Okay, we are delivering a piece of software to the market to gather the feedback from the real customers. Okay, like it helps to validate ideas quickly and avoid wasting efforts on unnecessary features. Okay, that is known as MVP. So 16th question, it will be difference between business analyst and a product owner. So let us know the what are main difference between the product owner and a business analyst. Okay, like what is the primary role of the product owner? He wants the product vision and decide what to do, what to build. Okay, when it comes to business analyst, okay, analyzes the requirements and helps define how to the how to build it. Okay, business analyst will analyze the requirements and helps define how to build it. Okay, but when it comes to product owner, he wants a product vision and decide what to build, not how to build. Okay, so and product owner focuses on product vision, priorities, customer needs. When it comes to business analyst, he will like business analyst will focus on like a functional requirement, process and detailed specifications. Okay, and when it comes to product owner, like he will maintain the product backlog, prioritize features, define acceptance criteria, he will write user stories. Okay, and make business decisions. Okay, when it comes to business business analyst, he will gather and document the requirements, create workflow use cases and user stories, and he will communicate between stakeholder and development team, like act as a liaison between them. Okay, okay, this is known as a difference between business analyst and the product owner. Okay, and at last it will be the 17th question. It will be you need to prepare sample resume of 3 years experience for the product owner. Okay, so this is about the Capstone project 2. Okay, guys. So if you have any doubts, please mention.